All right. Is there an overarching theme for this season? Do you have something you set out at the beginning and say this is what we want to kind of follow through?
Yeah, we always do. And last year for Barry, it always starts with the main character. And last year for Barry, it was just year one of trying, being a superhero and trying to figure out how to do this. And certainly by the end of the year, he'd assembled his team and kind of gotten a handle on his powers and obviously he avenged his mother's death. And this year it's really about okay, now I'm the Flash, what does that mean? And it's funny because so much of what we Greg and Grant and I talk about is that Grant Gustin's journey in a way is also Barry Allen's journey. And so last year it was like Grant was suddenly thrust into the spotlight and having to go through this grand adventure and am I up to it, am I not up to it, all the sort of early questions you ask. And this year again it feels like it's a little bit of Grant's journey. We're like, okay, I've done it, now what? And now what does it all mean? And also dealing with celebrity a little bit, which again is a good parallel for Grant in that, unlike Arrow, where the Arrow is still even a little bit of a mythic urban figure and can almost be dismissed and the people have seen the Flash now and just like in the comic books, probably the most comic booky thing that we're doing is that the general public knows about the Flash. They accept that they live in a world where people have powers and that the police aren't always equipped to deal with them. And we're really living in the sort of the post-particle accelerator era, and the public perception of the Flash and what that means to Barry and how it changes over the course of the year becomes a big part of this season.
So in the first season, so much of the action was centered around Star Labs and that team there. Right. And obviously things are going to have to change at least somewhat with the whole Harrison Wells reveal and all that. What can you tease about how the team is going to function this new season?
I think part of the early episodes are figuring out how is that, how are they going to continue to do that? There's going to be a different, lineup in there, I should say, but it's hard to talk about because it's a secret and it's really cool. And I want you guys, we really want everybody to experience it, because there are a lot of big surprises. But I think, look, some things are going to be exactly the same. There's Cisco's always going to be naming the villains, and the brotherly relationship that Caitlin has with Cisco will continue, and for all the people who ship Snowberry, you'll still get your moments, and but there, and Joe will always be the what the hell is going on? I don't understand any of this, but you saw Iris really became part of the team, and we really see that one of the great things that Iris is able to do is is really be a leader. And this season, one of the fun things that we see is we really see Iris West, ace reporter, it's another avenue. It's another avenue of investigation. It's another agency, for the show to work with, which is very fun. And I mean, people just have to see.
So basically, that suggests that the wormhole is not going to send us all back 6 months and reverse everything over again.
No. What the effect of the singularity? The effect of the singularity is going to create the main storyline drive for season 2. But how that is, it's not that.
How was knowing the true nature of Harrison Wells and all that going to affect the characters who kind of still trusted him or placed some faith in him, especially Caitlin? How is that going to shape her character in the second season?
I think all of them, and this is something that Barry is struggling with a little bit, is that, and it's one of the early episodes, is, how does he get his sense of trust back? Because he really, and they actually, I mean, some of what you're talking about actually kind of played out a little bit last year where, and it was especially Barry actually said something on camera that we all said, which is just I wish he wasn't the bad guy because I like him so much. And, and we have that, and it was and every time you'd write that, and one of my favorite scenes is when he tells Cisco how much he loves him. you know, after we know that in an alternate timeline he kills him. And what was great about that for us was both things were true. You know, that they didn't have to be mutually exclusive. So everybody sort of learning that, you know, that they had been taken on this ride and that they were so duped. And I think especially for Barry, because, you know, he is somebody who goes at things with an open heart, and he is very trusting, and he does wonder if he can get that back, because, you know, that, you know, more than anything, that's really what Wells took from him last year.
Great.
Great.